Hello and welcome back to the Erin Cruz Show. We have on with us a wonderful special guest tonight. She ran for the Congressional District. Her
Mhm.
name is Marla Livengood. She's a mother, she's a businesswoman. Welcome back to the Erin Cruz
Thank
Show.
you for having me. It's so great to be back. I really enjoy being on your show.
Oh my
So
gosh.
thank
Well,
you.
thank you for coming on here. How did it go? I mean, November since passed, the count isn't finished yet, but how did the campaign fare out for you?
You know what? We didn't win, but for my first time running, zero name recognition, I was outspent 94-1, and I came within 5% of winning. And so I
That
think
is
it may be a little.
so close. That must have
I think
made
as
them
more ballots roll
great.
in, I haven't looked at the certified, they're not waiting for the numbers to
Right.
certify it. It may be a little under. But we did fantastic for 29% Republican registration in this district, and to get 45%, I think we are on track to win in 2020. We had really focused on getting those crossover voters and getting out there and talking to as many people as we could. And I think if we had more time, we would have made it across that finish line, but this was a tough year, and
It was a
I,
tough.
I didn't have more time, so we're gonna have to try it again in 2020. But overall,
Are
I
you
was
trying it
really
again in 2020?
I'm planning to run again in 2020. I haven't made a formal announcement. I guess I'm telling you.
Well,
So
you're telling the listeners here at the Erin Cruz Show that it could be possible. I
uh-huh.
think it's like anything else. You have to look at it and determine what's doable. I mean, 5%, 7%. I mean,
Yeah.
California has been brutal this last year. So let's wait till that certified number comes
Yeah.
in.
It it
But
definitely has. I think that we learned a lot though, right? I mean, who heard of ballot harvesting before this year? So I think there's lots of things that as Republicans we need to learn how to do
or
and do well.
maybe get rid of it.
Well, get rid of it, but I don't think that's going to happen before
I know,
2020. So
I
I
know,
think we
because of
have to.
Gavin Newsom and the craziness up there. But
It it
we did
is.
learn.
Well, oh, I just missed what you said. I
We
apologize.
did
Cut off.
learn about ballot harvesting.
We did.
What now?
So
What in your district? What kind of impact do you think that? Because this is a hot topic. There are a lot of people are angry about the ballot harvesting and what Jerry Brown enacted just a couple of years
uh
ago. But the bigger takeaway from that is in your district, what role do you think that played in terms of garnering more votes for the other side, if any? Do you
You know,
know or
in my particular district, I don't think that it had a huge impact. I
right?
think that they were really focused on some of these hot races like the Denham race in District 10. I
Mm-hmm.
think in those districts, it did play a huge impact.
Mm-hmm.
In my district, I don't think it would have changed the numbers drastically. I don't know how much they were really putting their resources into this district.
Right.
So
Well,
I haven't
it's
seen
floaty, right? I mean,
anything on it here locally. So,
you know, your district, you have a lot of really good level-headed people, hard workers, people who really want
uh-huh,
solutions and results, right? And you're a policy person.
I
You could
am.
really
Which,
speak to the solutions that needed to be put in place to help
uh-huh,
benefit the people. And I believe that was one of the reasons why you were so successful is because first of all you're a dynamic communicator, but second of all you have the go-to, the wherewithal, the backbone, and the actual substance to do what you need to do,
uh-huh.
and the people trust you to be able to do that and accomplish those tasks, and that was advantageous, I believe.
I think it was, and that was why I decided to run because I am a policy person. I see what's not happening, and that's the arena I'm most comfortable in. So the whole political campaigning was definitely
Ah,
something new for me and something that I wasn't used to, and I had to learn to go speak to groups and do things that I really didn't do all that often. And going door to door was something I really put focus on, and I think that made a difference. And if, as I said earlier, if I had more time, I think I could have made more of an impact. But it's really getting out there and talking to folks, and then once they talk to you, they realize, okay, you are a good person, and then they talk to you a little bit more, and they say, oh, and you do know what you're doing. So I think it's a matter of kind of all those things playing together.
right, and you do know what you're doing. Not only do you have a plan, I mean, you know the policy. And the biggest thing was, I recall, for people who don't know Marla Livengood, you can go back and watch her prior interview and then apply it to 2020, because you made some very interesting comments about redundant policies, about different things that could be done more efficiently, and thinking out of the box, but really looking at the meat and potatoes of what's going on in terms of Congress, what's not working. And that, I think, speaks to a lot of people.
I think so. I think that people just want to see them doing their job, and this constant bickering isn't getting the job done. I have to say, it was actually the Problem Solvers Caucus. They put up some rules to Pelosi that I guess she's going to agree to. I read a quick article, and maybe we can move a little more into a bipartisan nature of working and actually focusing on getting things done. I'm hopeful, not holding my breath, but they're there to do a job. And exactly,
they're there to do a job. They'll do something and then not do it, and that goes for both sides.
Both sides.
Many people ran on repeal and replace Obamacare, and it's how many years has it been? We took the House, and then we took the Senate, and now we have the president. We had all three, the House, the Senate, and the president, and still what? Now we've lost the House. And, so it's both sides.
It is. And I think they got to stop pointing fingers. It's kind of the mom approach, right? Like, I don't care what happened in the past, but let's fix it, right? Stop it and fix it.
Let's clean it up.
Exactly.
So going from the mom approach, it's like, okay, pointing fingers isn't going to get this kitchen clean, so we all can eat dinner.
Absolutely. And I feel like that's what we need to take that approach to Congress and, to the state legislature as well, that we've got to start working together and make it better for people, not worse.
I love that.
And regulation doesn't make things better.
No,
right?
Regulation, no. Smart regulation. Somebody was saying, oh, well, but, if we pass this, then we can. And I said, you know what? Just because it has something good in it doesn't mean that we need to have it, okay?
No, we don't.
More is not necessarily better. And that's, unfortunately, there's a lot of interesting people up there in D.C. who, they piggyback bills, they put this deal and that deal, and then we have the lobbyists, playing in all of this. The people want the work done, and that's where I really believe that you get the people in your community. So we're really excited of a possible 2020.
Well, thank you. I'm excited too. The support I got this election was just overwhelming. I couldn't believe so many people would be willing to walk door to door with me, and I had a couple of guys that walked for like 2 months straight every day, and it's just amazing that people would give up that much of their time for the common good. So I appreciate it.
I believe that people will. When they believe and they know and they believe that something can take place. And I mean, our founders, look what they did. They put their livelihoods on the line so we could have what we have today. And, we have to get back to that. And I do believe that there are a lot more good people than bad. The media just likes to hype it up.
Exactly.
So now, in terms of the Republican Party there in your area, are they apprehensive about what's going on for 2020? Are they ramping up? Are people getting excited? Are they still trying to wrap their heads around November?
You know what? I think a lot of folks are just wrapping their heads around what happened, and it's time to look forward to 2020. And so I think we're getting ready. We're kind of starting those conversations and, putting our thinking caps on about, okay, this is the landscape that we have. This is the playing field, and what are we going to do in it? And so I think that it's really a time to finish reflecting. We've been reflecting. The vote's not certified, but we've got to get everything.
December 7th, folks. December 7th. I just wanted to let people know.
Okay. So I think that it's time to regroup and reassess how are we going to approach this and how are we going to work together? What worked? What didn't work? Not pointing fingers, but just figuring out what worked and how do we work better together for the common good. And I think that, as a party, we need to really cast that net wide And if people don't agree with you on 100%, that doesn't mean that you don't include them. That just means we don't agree 100% as far as the party goes. We need to make sure that we're reaching out to as many people as possible and that we're trying to share what our platform is and the good things. And one of the most surprising things when I went door to door is that a lot of people think that I would knock on in Stockton in the doors specifically would think that the Republican Party is the party of the rich. And I said, whoa, 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 that's definitely not me. We are not the party of the rich. We're there fighting for the working class, for the middle class. We're fighting for you. And so we really need to get our messaging together and make sure that our messaging's reaching and resonating with folks. And so we've got a lot of work to do. But I think that that's what we're looking to right now. So getting ready.
Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I think you bring up a good point there, messaging. And I've had several interviews tonight. You are our closing interview. I just love it.
Well,
But what's resonated across each one of those interviews actually is messaging and, looking at what's worked, looking at what hasn't, and really reaching to the people and letting them know that we are here. We're here for them, uh, people who've come here for opportunity, immigrants, legal immigrants, and
yeah,
other people who want a future for their family and future generations. I mean, this is it. This is it. The Republican
exactly.
Party is it. And it's not a bunch of rich old white guys, and I'm not PC over here, okay? But
Okay.
that's what the media portrays. This is what the
it
Republican Party
it
is, and they don't
does.
care about anybody else but themselves and their coffers. And in fact, one interesting person I spoke to from Cuba on election night, on general
Uh,
election night, while I was celebrating down there, watching all of you guys
uh,
figuring it out. But this Cuban guy who actually drove the Uber home, he says, I'm from Cuba. Which party are you from, the red one or the blue one? And I
uh,
said, well, the party for the people. Oh, you're independent. And I said, no. I said, I guess you'd call me the red party. He goes, oh, but this is this and that is that. I said, well, we can help people
uh,
help themselves. We can give people a hand
exactly.
out, a hand up, but not
Exactly.
take it, take it, take it. And I told him, I explained to him how, to just keep giving people, that's not helping people. That's not, that's a band aid that is not a long term solution. And he says, you know what? And this is really interesting. This is all in a new car. He says, you
Uh,
know what? That's one of the problems with my country and my countrymen is they always look to the government. And I said,
exactly.
absolutely. I said, we're about self-reliance and, growing people. And he couldn't vote, but, he really was thinking about this. And that's part of it is messaging.
It is because you want to think of how good you feel when you have done something yourself and you provide for yourself. When you have to turn to your government to provide for you and provide for your family, and eventually your ability to provide for yourself goes away. I mean, I think it's crushing and it's devastating. And people shouldn't have to rely on the government. That shouldn't be a way of life. That should
Right.
be there only in the desperate of times and when you need a hand up. We're there for you.
Right.
But
The
the
resources are
government
there for
should not
them.
be all things to all people.
Right.
And we need to make sure that we get that message out there, and probably somebody that's better at messaging than myself to come up with the best way to say it. But really, you know, we are there for you to do what you want to do and to rely on yourself and to leave you alone to let you do that, but help you if you're failing.
Right.
We think the Republican Party is the first one to be there. You know, the Republicans that I know, if somebody needs help,
Right,
you know,
charitable organizations is why we have
exactly.
nonprofits and partnerships, between government and nonprofits. There are so many different programs and opportunities for us to use as strengths. But again, we have to convey the message, the right message that
We
really
do.
shares what we're about, so we can help people grow and grow America because that's for future generations. That's what we need. So now I'm so excited about you running possibly in 2020. I mean, how is this? You have a family, you have children, you have a
I
husband, you're
do.
getting back to normalcy. How do your children feel, and how were they during the campaign, and how are they now? Are they
You know
excited for
what?
mommy?
They were really excited. My 5-year-old fell asleep election night and she woke up and she came in and she goes, "Did you win?" And I said, "No, sweetie, I didn't." And she started crying. And
Oh,
so I said, "But it's okay." I said, "It's not the end of the world. It's okay." And so she took it hard that first day. And but the kids are excited. They still, they're keeping it in their prayers that mommy wins Congress has not left their prayers. We do prayers at dinner every night, and so
oh,
they
they're
have
like
not left that
patriotic
that
people.
one change. So they've done well, and they really were fantastic on the campaign trail. We drug them around. I have to say, there were other women that had their children on the campaign trail out here in California too, and they, went along and really enjoyed it and enjoyed helping and getting to be a part of it. They put up signs, they put stamps on mail, so they were fantastic. And I have to really thank my husband for standing along my side this whole time.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I went straight to the kids.
I know,
My
I said I
husband.
forget about Ray. But
So,
he put up more signs and they were really fantastic. And I think that all of us together enjoyed the process and we grew throughout the process. And so now we are back to reality and, back to daily normal life, commuting to work and, juggling kids. But it's good. We gave it our best effort and we're going to do it again. And,
well,
it was a great experience.
it will be really good to see what those final numbers are.
It
It
will
will be
be.
really good to take a look at that. They're probably pretty close to true, but you know, I really am extremely excited about many of the districts here through California. Some of them didn't turn out as we had hoped, but with
Uh,
strengths and knowledge of this particular election,
uh,
I do believe we can do a lot better. And, you know, I think that your messaging, you kind of said, oh, well, maybe somebody can do it better. I want to go back
uh,
to that for a minute. You're really strong at messaging, in fact, because this is something that when I interviewed you previously, I could tell that the people were going to be able to resonate with you because of the policy background. Don't underestimate yourself there. I do think that a lot of people could glean a great deal of knowledge from you in
uh,
the Republican Party about how to communicate people and their platform and their positions and what they want to actualize when in Congress because we need that right now.
we
Right
do.
now.
And another thing, I didn't really touch on it before, but when I went door to door, I wasn't going to your traditional Republican households. I was going to mixed households, Democratic households. And I think we need to be able to talk to people who don't speak and think 100% like us, right? We can't be afraid to go talk to different people. And so that's what I did every day was I talked to different people and the more you talk to people, the more you find you have a lot of similarities.
Right.
But we can't just look at that letter next to somebody's name and assume that there's no chance that they're going to see eye to eye because I think when it comes down to, family issues and, just the middle class and being free and talking about freedoms that we really have a lot in common. We just need to take down that barrier a little bit and be willing to talk and engage with people that may end up not agreeing with you too. That happens
And
sometimes,
that's
but you got to be
okay.
willing to talk and be productive. And so that was probably one of the things I enjoyed most was just talking to so many different people
Right.
and finding out we really do have things in common.
Well, and I think that when people realize you're a real person and even if you don't agree with them and you're standing in their doorwell and
Uh,
you're having this conversation, if you can talk to them, you might be able to represent them in Congress and talk across the aisle. You know, if you can't even
exactly.
come to their door and you can't even have a conversation and you can't even have it in a civil form,
Yeah,
how in the world do you expect somebody to be able to go out and do what they need to do up on the hill? Because the hill is
exactly.
brutal. Going door to door is
Exactly.
easy, comparatively speaking. I have had my share of doors slammed in the face, and then you think, I didn't even get to talk to you. You know, we're people, we're Americans.
Yeah,
We love this country. We want to do better for our families and the community. And let's
exactly.
talk about that. I love that, Marla. I love that.
Well,
Well, the takeaways for the people out there who maybe their person who ran for Congress didn't get as close as you did, what word of advice do you have to them going forward in 2020?
You know what? I really think my advice is that it starts now, right? We need to keep working. It's not over. It's not a done deal. We don't just stop and not do anything until the next election. It'll be in March, so it's going to be a little sooner than we had this last round. We need to start now, and we need to start reaching out to people. We actually need to not stop, right? We need to continue our efforts, take a little break, but we need to get back out there and we need to engage with people and continue to reach out, continue to, build our base, widen our net, and just, get out there. We can't stop. And so we also, as I talked about earlier, we need to reevaluate what went well and what didn't. And so I think that we're going to know so much more from this round for the next round, that we're really going to be able to work in this new environment of, how elections are handled, and the polls being open longer with the ballot drop-offs that they've had. And I know Sacramento County's all mail-in with polling stations, so it's a little bit different there. And I have a portion of Sacramento County. So we just need to learn to work in this new environment. So I think that we just got to keep at it. That's my advice. I think that there definitely is hope. So stay strong. Exactly.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again so much, Marla, for coming on the Erin Cruz Show again. I know that we're going to have you back. Even if you don't decide to run, for sure.
I would love to be back on.
Yes, absolutely. The people you really spoke to at least the Erin Cruz Show listeners' hearts, because people really do want good things for their families, and they do want to see strong leaders up in DC. So keep on, Marla.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for another edition of the Erin Cruz Show. What a great evening. I hope all of you enjoyed the interactions, the stories, and took something back that you can take out into your community and make actionable change. We can't do this, what we're doing here, without your help. Could you please like, share, and subscribe to our different platforms on Facebook, YouTube? We would greatly appreciate it. Also, spread the good word. Share this video, share the interviews, be the change you want to see in your community. You are Revolution America. And that brings me to the last point, the book Revolution America. It is the holiday season, Christmas season, Hanukkah. No better time than now than to give this as a gift to someone you love and care about. This is a political and communication book I wrote to help people better understand themselves, their family, their community, so they can impact the nation and really the world. You can go to our website, erincruz.com, that's ERINCRUZ.com, and purchase the book from there. God bless you.
To hear more and to learn more on how you can make an impact or about the Erin Cruz Show, visit us online at erincruz.com. That's ERINCRUZ.com.